Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Wednesday, May 6th, 2020. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And good evening, I'm Odette Campbell. Coming up in the news this evening, the health minister calls dialysis centers' decision to stop treating patients with no money unacceptable.
ECCB projects sharp contraction in economic activity in Eastern Caribbean.
And it's being thought that patient 15 may not be the first COVID case at the mill. Health officials are now racing to find the origin.
Coming up in sports, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots and the Trinbago Knight Riders retain several key players for the 2020 CPL season.
And in around the globe this evening, 33 TNT nationals finally at home after a long wait in Barbados. We'll bring you the details of those and other stories in just a moment. Stay.
Good evening from the GBN. Minister for Health Nicholas Steele says a simple line of communication could have halted an unfortunate and unacceptable situation involving the Lone Dialysis Clinic and its patients. We get the story in this Blossom Alexis Welsh report.
The Lone Clinic in Grenada that treats dialysis patients has issued letters to its clients stating that due to the difficulty in receiving contributions from the Patient Kidney Foundation and the government for services in March and April 2020, effective immediately, no treatment can be rendered unless paid in full on or before the day of each treatment. Dated Monday, May 4th, the letter states that each treatment will cost EC $695 and bears the letterhead of the clinic, Island Health Services, which is owned by Trevor Forrester, son of opposition politician Terence Forrester. On Wednesday, Minister of Health, Honorable Nicholas Steele, explained that the co-payment plan requires that government's contributions are paid to the Kidney Foundation, which then provides the payment to the clinic. But the COVID-19 regulations caused a delay in the process.
I spoke to the Kidney Foundation, and their explanation simply was because we were on 3-day lockdowns or 2-day lockdowns, that they had some delays, that they also communicated with the service provider to say that they may be late in payments, but rest assured they will be making payments to the service provider. Because their thrift shop as well, which is a main source of income for them, has been closed.
Minister Steele acknowledged that prior to this, there has been constant communication between the ministry and management of the clinic, including in March when government helped IHS get supplies from Trinidad to Grenada via an RSS aircraft and facilitated clearing of supplies the following week.
I would have thought that if he hadn't received payments based on the fact that his lives at stake, that he would have communicated to the Ministry of Health to find out or to confirm, or to the Kidney Foundation. As far as I'm aware, none of that was done, and just a simple communication to the patients, threatening them basically that if they don't pay, they won't receive service. So I think that is truly unacceptable. As I said, I can confirm that the government has been making its payments, that quite likely under the circumstances like everything else, there are delays in getting those payments to the service provider, which is reasonable under these circumstances. And I think any reasonable individual, especially providing that type of service, would have gone the extra distance as well to simply communicate, to make a phone call.
The health minister says most evident from the situation is that energies now, as best as possible, must be diverted once more to the establishment of a government-run dialysis clinic at the General Hospital.
Because we cannot allow this situation to continue. And we have to have responsible service for our dialysis patients. And as such, government has to make sure that we have that service available under the control of government.
In a response posted on their Facebook page on Tuesday night, Island Health Services stated that the decision taken was unavoidable since the institution has financial obligations of their own to their suppliers. The clinic says 90% of its medical supply comes from the United States and requires upfront payment. And with the absence of payment for 2 months, the cash flow situation could not continue for much longer. They said they had to make an adjustment for the interim period in order to protect their medical supply chain and stay open for their now 18 patients. Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.
Grenada is expected to receive more financial support from the regional and international community to help the country tackle the challenges faced due to the coronavirus. Rena Pear tells us more.
Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, says that in this time of crisis, Grenada was able to tap into a number of resources to address the impact faced by the country due to COVID-19. Prime Minister Mitchell says already Grenada has received over $22 million towards mitigating the crisis.
We are able to get the $22.4 million from the IMF. From the Rapid Credit Facility, and this is a 10-year loan, a 10-year repayment period, 5 years grace, and a 0% interest rate. So, I mean, you don't find anybody offering, lending you any money at 0%. So, for you to be able to achieve this, it means that you have to be put yourself in a very positive position for people to consider helping you. So that's $22.4 million.
Grenada is also expected to gain a loan of $20 million from the World Bank under its Catastrophe Deferred Drawdown Option CAT-DDO program and $5.9 million from the Caribbean Development Bank. The Prime Minister spoke of other financial support Grenada is expected to receive.
And of course, we expect $2.5 million from through the fast-track COVID facility through the World Bank. Again, either terms 40 years at 0.75% with 10-year grace. That's also. And we've got some small grant support from the European Union. We have had $500,000 EC from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. As you know, I'm chairman of the Monetary Council at this time. UNDP has provided some support, and a number of countries and governments and agencies are now offering specific help to the Ministry of Social Services and the Ministry of Health and so on. And so we have been able to get a number of serious support because of, as I mentioned, the way we have managed ourselves.
The Minister for Finance also requested a deferment of expected payments to be made to the international community by his government for the rest of the year 2020. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Now, the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union is projecting a sharp contraction in economic activity throughout the ECCU. It's estimated to be between 1% and 20% in 2020. Tourism, as the lead sector, has ground to a halt, and unemployment, which has sharply risen, may now be as high as 50% in some countries. With no information on when the tourism industry will rebound, the ECCU is also projecting a protracted recovery process as the economic damage may outlast the pandemic. In all of this, the currency union is boasting that the EC dollar remains strong. Let's take a further look in this dispatch from Gerard Joseph.
Government revenues within the currency union have plummeted by at least 50%. To compound the issue, remittances are expected to be adversely affected, and ECCB Governor Timothy Antoine notes that we may see the same phenomenon witnessed after the global financial crisis of reversed remittances. He says a short-term decline is also projected for foreign direct investment, which includes the Citizenship by Investment program. The ECCB governor hopes that one legacy benefit from the pandemic will be stronger health systems, which has been strengthened financially.
Another piece of good news is the fact that oil prices currently are very low. In fact, those of us who fill up at the pump will see the obvious benefit because we're paying less to fill up our tanks. The other good news about low oil prices is that we are paying less to import oil. And of course, as oil importing countries, we spend significant sums every year on oil imports.
In terms of the EC dollar, the governor impresses that it remains very strong.
As of last Friday, April 24th, our dollar was backed by foreign reserves 100.3%. I repeat, 100.3%. And as I said on a previous occasion, our strong buffers will serve our currency union very well in this difficult season.
With that, he says, the ECCB has been able to give financial and other support to its member countries and financial institutions while its employees work from home. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Thanks, Gerard, for that report. This is News at 7. Coming up, the head of hospital services says, to date, no COVID patient has ever needed critical care or ventilators. And your cooperation is being sought for the upcoming National Household Survey. Do stay with us.
Spread our wings at home and overseas. The seeds we've sown for you have borne fruit endlessly. Every challenge we'll accept, do our part with love and care. Republic gives its heart to you, and with you our lives we will share. Republic back, we're the one for
you. Dear customer, please help us limit the potential impact of COVID-19. If you have cold, flu, or COVID-19 symptoms, please postpone your visit to Grenlec and ask someone you trust to do your business for you. We recommend using online banking to make payments, available through Co-op Bank, Republic Bank, and FCIB. You can also use check drop boxes at each of our locations. For bill balances and other information, call 237. For additional support, email customersupport@grenlec.com. If you choose to visit, you may have to wait outside because of the social distancing requirements. Our service may be slow, so please be patient with us. Have your account number handy to expedite service. Wishing you, your family, and employees health and wellness at this time.
Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 350 local anywhere calls and texts. With the always-on prepaid plans, all for $25. Keep your number when you switch to Grenada's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
The NIS is committed to your well-being and continues to provide the same excellent service to you from the safety of your home or office. Therefore, from April 2020, all remittances must be submitted electronically to nisremit@nisgrenada.org. The e-remittance template can be downloaded from our website at www.nisgrenada.org/e-submission. Alternatively, you can provide us with your email address and the required Excel spreadsheet will be sent to you. Call 440-3309 or chat with us on social media for more information. NIS, serving you because we care.
How going on, boy? Hey, good, old things. Hey, easy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
The seeds we've sown for you have borne fruit endlessly. Every challenge we'll accept, do our part with love and care. Republic gives its heart to you, and with you our lives we will share. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And welcome back. Well, curiosity is deepening as health officials try to determine the source of contact that infected COVID-19 patient number 15. It was first said that it was possibly a worker on a supply boat from a neighboring island from which the company imported its products. However, all workers were tested negative for the virus, and now officials say they're looking at another possibility. We get more in this dispatch.
National COVID-19 Response Coordinator Dr. George Mitchell says patient 15 is not the first individual showing symptoms of COVID-19 at the Caribbean agro industry. The company, where a small cluster of positive cases were recently confirmed. In fact, he said that the male employee was only the first to get extremely sick.
You would recall that we did, in consideration of the plight of the farmers and their chicken, their pigs, etc., we did give consideration to allowing for some form of activity at that company. And so the theory, the strongest that we have, is that someone may have come in there and contaminated one or two persons, or one person that eventually contaminated another person. So that's basically our strongest theory that we have.
Dr. Mitchell, speaking on GBN's To The Point with host Blossom Alexis Welsh on Wednesday, said it's an interesting case. Initially, officials suspected it was possibly a worker on a supply boat from a neighboring island from which the company imported its products. However, all workers were tested negative for the virus. Now they're looking at a source on island.
We are trying to ensure that these people maintain the quarantine and that they're not circulating, even though we have tested them and they're negative. That much care we are actually taking. And come Friday morning, we have also arranged to retest all of them. That organizational effort is already in train. We've been in contact with the management of Caribbean Agro. They will all come there for ease of doing business, so to speak, maintaining first and foremost the social distancing and wearing of their masks. And we will have all of them tested on Friday morning before we can contemplate in any way giving the green light to open that institution.
Despite numerous calls for people to self-quarantine, some have refused to adhere. Health Minister Nicholas Steele, who was also on Wednesdays To The Point, said that action was taken recently to remove such people and place them in mandatory quarantine, under guard, and 24-hour observation. Despite this act being a criminal offense, no charges were laid on anyone. Grenada's COVID-19 record to date stands at 21, with 13 recovered patients, 7 active cases on island, and 1 that have left the country. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, no critical case of COVID-19 in Grenada. Ventilators are yet to be used in the treatment of COVID-19 cases. One of the 21 positive COVID-19 cases recorded, none has gotten to a critical state. That's according to Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh. GBN's Christina John is following that story.
One COVID-19 patient remained in isolation on the private block at the General Hospital. However, he is said to be in a stable condition. According to Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh, they have not yet reached to the stage of having to treat a critical case.
We are very thankful that we have not gotten to that point. And I would be happy to say that we never used any of the ventilators. That would be the best thing to be said. But if it is necessary, we have it ready. And if it's necessary, we have the team ready. And necessary, we have, I am just, again, I have to keep coming back to a full team with the doctors, the nurses, the housekeeper, the orderly, the drivers that are there and knowing that this is what they're designated to do.
The director made mention of 2 facilities that have been designated for isolation of COVID-19 patients. She explained what has been done thus far to accommodate them.
So we were able to retrofit the private ward. So we have 2 full ones that were prepared for if we have critically ill patients who have COVID-19. And we have an additional 3 rooms for, if necessary, a patient in labor who is positive with COVID-19, so they'd be able to labor without being infecting additional patients. Built out a 9-bedded isolation ward that is built just off-site from the hospital. That one has 4 isolation rooms typically, and then a 5-bedded ward that would hold 5 beds for patients who are all tested positive so that they will be able to be treated.
At Added to this is a separate room to facilitate doctors and nurses changing into and out of their PPEs. Dr. McIntosh says their medical team, headed by Dr. Dolan Noel, does their best to ensure patients they have treated did not reach to a critical stage, and that, she expressed, is remarkable on their part. The main concern is in stopping the transmission of the virus, she says. The oxygen bank is the only area that's left to be complete. Christina John, GBN News.
And survey time is coming and a new method is being used. The full cooperation of the public is being sought as the Central Statistical Office embarks on its household survey and is going to be interviewing you via the telephone. Traditionally, the survey has been conducted face-to-face. However, due to COVID-19 constraints, the Statistical Office is forging ahead using alternative methods. Gerald Joseph picks up that story.
With the assurance that information provided will be handled with the strictest confidentiality, the Central Statistical Office is urging all who are contacted to give their full cooperation. Director of Statistics Halim Rizan says the household or labor force survey will be done via telephone numbers they would have gathered over the years. The enumerators will contact those sampled for the survey, which will facilitate the quarterly surveys that were already hindered in the first quarter due to COVID-19.
And we're trying to monitor the impact of COVID-19. Obviously, the impact is not a one-time impact, but the impact would be continuous for some time. So, and we are looking into, we are currently researching different tools, different questions that we can add to our labor force survey to augment, so to actually measure the impact of COVID-19 on both on economic activity, which includes employment and also production.
He says the accuracy of the telephone surveys would only be affected by a low response rate, thus the public's cooperation is of critical importance. Mr. Biza impresses that the survey is intended to be conducted monthly and the results announced every 3 months with a month-to-month representation.
So with the module on COVID-19, we're currently in the process of looking to see what the other international statistical offices would have done. So we're trying to build on the best practices thus far. And obviously, we will have to be guided by our national policy makers as to what are some of the questions that they would want to see reflected in Grenada.
The results of the survey is used by policymakers and international organizations, and the survey is expected to begin in the 3rd week of May. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
We take a break, but still to come, no boat parades and Rainbow Festival as more August festivals are cancelled amid COVID-19 pandemic. Stay with us.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Hills and Valley Med Care Center, located on Grenville Street, St. George's, has a highly professional team that gives excellent service in massage therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, medical consultation, and more. Hills and Valley Med Care Center sells a wide range of medical supplies, offers home visits for patients in Grenada and Carrier Crew, and opens Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Visit or call Hills and Valley Med Care Center today, 435-6904.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait. To ship it tropical, can't wait. No package to big, no small, cannot wait. To ship it tropical, no package to big, to small, just ship it tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Grenada introducing Shop from Home with Island Style Tile and Bath. That's right. Stay safe at your home or office and shop for tiles. First, search Facebook for Island Style Interiors to browse all our available tiles. Then, contact a sales agent to assist with your design choices, calculations, and make an invoice. And the best part, no need to pay first. We deliver for free island-wide on all purchases over $1,000. Just swipe your card and pay on delivery. For the elderly, there is no minimum for delivery. Pick up and pay on completed orders, also available at our stores. It's that easy. For health and safety, only card payments are accepted on delivery, and there are limits to what our delivery staff is allowed to do. Shop from home with Island Style today. Search for Island Style Interiors on Facebook or call 439-TILE for more details.
Ovio.com.
Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound. Lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 70 channels and 12 in HD. All for $200 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
So glad you stayed with us, and it's apparent that COVID equals cancellations. 2 more festival committees have cancelled their 2020 hostings shortly after the Spice Mass Corporation announced the cancellation of the 2020 Carnival, all as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. We're hearing that other festivals are also going down the tube.
On the same day as the announcement of the cancellation of Spice Mass 2020, the announcement was made of the cancellation of the Carriacou Regatta Festival 2020. A press release was issued by the Carriacou and Petit Martinique Festivals Board, citing the official cancellation of the regatta due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The festival on the Sister Isle began as a mere boat racing event held over the Emancipation Weekend each year, but evolved to include a large number of sporting activities in recent times, becoming one of the most anticipated regattas in the region. The board says it looks forward to planning a greater regatta festival for 2021. On mainland, another festival announced its cancellation. The Rainbow City Festival, launched since 1984, is held in St. Andrew every year on Emancipation Weekend. One promoter affected by this cancellation is Rainbow City Mass leader Peter Bain.
On behalf of Rainbow City March promoters, I want to say that it is with deep regret that our fancy mass band will not be participating in Carnival this year, 2020. I have received information from the Spice Mass Corporation that Carnival will be cancelled this year, and I urge everyone to be safe and to adhere to all the rules and regulations of the authority. I want to thank all those who have been part of our mass band for the past 28 years, and I wish everyone well, and I hope that our band will be back on the streets sometime in the near future.
Bain says not only has COVID-19 jeopardized Rainbow City Festival operations, but also his annual Mother's Day Queen Show, which was scheduled for Sunday.
To officially announce that our annual Mother's Day Queen Show this year, 2020, will be cancelled. It is with deep regret that I have to make this announcement, because I know how important it is for the mothers of the nation. And I want to take the opportunity to wish all the mothers of this nation and of the world advance Mother's Day greetings. I pray that sometime in the near future, we will be able to do the show again. In the meantime, I urge everyone to stay safe, and may God bless you.
In a release, the St. Andrews Development Organization explained a series of online educational sessions done via a virtual Emancipation Celebrations program in collaboration with the Grenada Cultural Foundation will be held on all social media platforms in lieu of the festival. The pandemic saw the cancellation of a host of major local events, including the Pure Grenada Music Festival, the Grenada Invitational, Intercall Games, and the most anticipated Spice Mass 2020. Health Minister Nicholas Steele dismissed allegations that the coronavirus has been around long before borders were closed. Although there are different strains of the virus, it's the first time this particular strain has surfaced. The first confirmed case in Grenada was announced on March 23rd. Since then, the numbers have climbed to 21, 13 of whom have recovered, 7 remain active, and 1 left the country. More than 2,000 plus screenings have taken place. 300 PCR tests have been carried out.
I think the most recent case is a primary example to use there. Because of the rate of infection, the high rate of infection of COVID-19, we've shown with one individual entering a workplace, we now have 6 individuals who have been infected within the space of a week. So we use that one as a determinant to say that COVID-19 was not here earlier, because we would be in a much worse state if it was among us, if this monster, as I refer to it now, was among us in Grenada before we closed.
Appearing on Beyond the Headlines program on Monday night, the health minister took the opportunity to recognize frontline workers.
As always, thank our frontline health team and our RGPF, but I also always take the opportunity to single out other groups. I want to use tonight's opportunity to single out our utility providers, those who help maintain the water, our NAWASA workers, our Grenlec workers who are there to make sure electricity, and our telecommunications, which are the Flow and the Digicel.
And now it's time for us to see what has been coming through the lens as we take a look at tonight's ISO report.
Tonight's ISO features photos of a soursop flower. The flower featured is a beautiful bright yellow. Soursop fruit is popular in tropical regions and carries a wide range of health benefits. You can send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Rechanging the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Stay with us. The weather and sports news is up next.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
the Esplanade Mall. Something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy, hazy and windy, with a low chance of early morning isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature, 24.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open water. A marine advisory is in effect. Tides low at 9:30 p.m. and high at 4 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:56. Weather for Thursday, May 7th, generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with some slight haze with isolated showers. Weather for Friday, May 8th, partly cloudy and windy with light isolated showers. And weather for Saturday, May 9th, generally fair at first, with increased in cloudiness during the afternoon with possible showers.
Well, good evening, sporting fans. It's good to be back with you again, looking at what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. And we start off with the good news for some players in the CPL, looking at retention. And what we can tell you is that the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots have retained 7 Caribbean players, including Evan Lewis, Fabian Allen and Sheldon Cottrell, ahead of the 2020 CPL draft. They've also signed Dennis Ramden from the Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders. Captain Red Emirates is excited about the retentions and the hiring of a new coach. Promising fast bowler Alzari Joseph has also been retained with Dominic Drakes in as the emerging player. The franchise will announce international retentions and signings later. For the 2020 season, teams can retain as many players from their 2019 squads as they wish. They could also transfer players to other teams and sign on emerging players. And moving along, Dwayne Bravo, Kieran Pollard, Lendell Simmons, Sunil Ramnine and Darren Bravo are among 10 players retained by the Trinbago Knight Riders for the 20 CPL season. Among the players also retained are Kerry Pear, emerging players Jaden Seals and Amir Jangu, Theon Webster and Akil Hussain. The CPL is scheduled to take place between August 19 and September 26. However, the tournament organizers are watching the current situation with COVID-19 closely and are liaising with medical advisors and governments. Moving on to the football field, internationally, where we find that Chancellor Angela Merkel has confirmed that the German Bundesliga season can resume this month. It will become the first major league in Europe to return to competition, with a date for resumption to be confirmed by the German Football League on Thursday. All matches will be played behind closed doors. With 9 games remaining, Bayern Munich are top of the table, 4 points above Borussia Dortmund. The announcement comes a day after clubs in the top 2 German divisions returned 10 positive results from 1,724 coronavirus tests. And that takes us to the end of the sporting line. When we come back, I look at what's happening around the region and around the world. Stay with us. It's time to take a look at what's been happening around the Caribbean region and around the world. And we're starting the neighboring island of Trinidad and Tobago, where 33 of their nationals who grabbed the headlines when they got stuck in Barbados after Trinidad and Tobago had closed its borders are safely back at their homes. They were discharged from an isolation facility where they had been in quarantine for the last 14 days. As we hear in this report from our sister station TV6, there were mixed feelings as they headed home.
Hi. Hi. How it feels to be going back home now?
Excited. You came in healthy, we are leaving healthy.
How was your stay here though?
Good, good.
Was it a good stay?
Yes.
Happy to see your family now?
Oh, very much so.
What's the first thing you plan to do when you get home?
Eat some good food.
Have lunch. Have lunch.
Headed home and all smiles. 33 TNT nationals who got stuck in Barbados after TNT's borders were closed reached the end of their quarantine period Tuesday, finally getting to see their loved ones in person.
Relieved. After so long, right?
After 70 days today.
Today, make it 70 days. 70?
Yes.
And finally getting to go to their homes, which they haven't seen since February.
She's relieved. She's glad to be going back home. Well taken care of in the last 14 days. Yeah. Nice. Thankful for that.
How was your stay in Barbados?
Oh, exceptional. Yeah.
Exceptional. Nice.
A whole 30 days extra.
And what's the first thing you're going to do when you're at home?
Oh, she has some corridor and daiquiri waiting on her, so I think she'll be well taken care of. We have to maintain our standard because they were fed well up here as well.
But it wasn't smiles from all members of the group, which grabbed headlines for weeks before government granted the exemption for them to return to TNT.
I feel the same anger that I felt when I entered that center. I felt the same anger this morning because I felt we were treated unfairly. I felt that Mr. Stuart Young, I felt that he feels he owns Trinidad and Tobago to say who can come in and who cannot come in. And that's the anger I feel still today.
Her husband, Philip Ramdale, is thankful to the Barbados government for their help and hospitality, but he feels TNT's government could have been more understanding and compassionate. TV6 asked him about the race comment he made.
I think it was taken out of concept, out of hate, out of angriness. When that was published by Hannah on the Express, immediately Philip Ramdale became popular and the race remark and all of these things. But so be it, and I think it helped us along the way because we had decisions that, taken place. You can return home.
Members of the group say there are no additional quarantine restrictions for them as they head home. Anselm Gibbs, TV6 News.
Interesting times indeed, and we hop over to Venezuela, where President Nicolas Maduro says 2 U.S. citizens have been arrested following what he said was an attempt to overthrow his government. We get details in this dispatch.
Venezuela's leader says authorities stopped an armed incursion attempt on Sunday in an alleged plot to oust him. Officials say 8 people were killed during the foiled incursion. President Nicolas Maduro says the country's detained 2 U.S. citizens for the alleged failed attack, and that the 2 were working with another U.S. military veteran who has claimed responsibility. On state TV, Maduro likened the plot to Rambo and said 13, quote, terrorists were arrested on Monday. He claims it was done in coordination with Washington, aiming to enter the South American country via the Caribbean coast.
On Sunday, May the 3rd, Venezuela faced down an attempted maritime incursion from terrorist mercenaries that were trained in Colombian territory under financing and support from the United States and the current Colombian government.
Venezuela's Attorney General said the contract was valued at $200 million and alleged he had seen the signature of opposition leader Juan Guaido on the contract. Maduro frequently accuses political rivals of attempts to overthrow him.
And finally this evening, U.S. President Donald Trump has confirmed the White House Coronavirus Task Force will be winding down, with Vice President Mike Pence suggesting it could be disbanded within weeks. New confirmed infections per day in the U.S. currently top 20,000 and daily deaths exceed 1,000. U.S. health officials warn the virus may spread as businesses begin to reopen. And that's our look around the region and around the globe. When we come back, a recap of the main points in tonight's newscast. Stay with us. So glad that you could join us tonight. Now we recap the main points in the news. Health Minister calls dialysis centers' decision to stop treating patients with no money totally unacceptable. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank projecting sharp contraction in economic activity in the region. Patient 15 may not be the first COVID case at the mill, and now health officials are racing to find its original origin. And in sports this evening, we heard that St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots and Trinbago Knight Riders retained several key players for the 2020 CPL season, as providing that the games could be played. And in around the globe, 33 TNT nationals finally back home after a long wait in Barbados and in quarantine.
If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. You can continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell saying thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow evening, Kenroy Batiste will be in the chair. So long for now.